welcome back to the channel. This is the Champions League review, the headquarters of all Champions League related news. For all Champions League news, statistics, preview, analysis, history, betting prediction, and betting tips, this is the best channel for you because in every single Champions League fixture, I come up with possible predicted outcome of the game. If this is something that you're really interested in, please consider subscribing and clicking on the notification bell icon because that is the only way you'll be notified of our new videos. Today's video is an exceptional video. It's not actually about a Champions League fixture, but then it's actually about a Champions League team in the person of Chelsea. Over the past weeks, about the past month or so, a lot of Chelsea fans have been sending me messages upon messages claiming how their team are not performing well. So it's my duty. I've taken the blame on myself. I've taken all the burden upon myself to do a background check to analyze this Chelsea team currently and prior to this performance and tell you who is actually responsible. But before then, let me pose the question. You've all been looking for the answer. I'm not the only one who's been looking for the answer. All Chelsea fans and all football lovers right now and across the globe are actually looking for the answer of this simple question. Who is responsible for Chelsea's performance? Is it the manager, Frank Lampard and his technical team? Is it Abramovich and his administrative staff? Or maybe is it possibly the players who are not actually putting on their best performance? By the end of this video, you should be able to answer the question because I'm going to discuss each and every single thing about this Chelsea team that you can sit home, relax, and you will be able to get the answers you've been waiting for. If this is something that you do, please consider liking this video and let's get straight into it. There's no better way to start than to talk about Chelsea's transfer this season alone. You know, we all quite remember last two seasons there was a ban on Chelsea where they were not allowed to buy players because of the financial fair play rule. But unfortunately or luckily for them, they got that ban removed. And this season coming in, a lot of Chelsea fans were really happy because at long last, they have the rights to buy players and compete with other big teams in the EPL and in the European competition. My biggest surprise is that when Chelsea were not having that advantage, they were not having the money, they even performed better. I'm not going to say they were really far better than what they are putting on this season, but I can say last season Chelsea team we saw were really good. They were not that best, but they were better. They managed to play in the Champions League and they were in the EPO. They made it to top 4 on the last day. That was a huge blow to them. So Tammy Abraham and Giroud joining in, they did a fantastic work. But this season they spent over 250 million euros. 250 million euros. With that kind of money, you can even buy Neymar from PSG. With that kind of money, you can even buy Cristiano Ronaldo. Heck, there are a lot of people you can buy with that money. But then, Frank Lampard and his scout team decided to go in for Timmo, Werner, harvetz, hakim, zyich, who are actually impressing me. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are a little bit skeptical when it comes to hakim, zyich, but I think he has put on a very good performance. Apart from his injury setback, I think hakim, zyich is a plus. And Edward Mendy, who came in really promising. These 4 players on your screen really accumulate to 197 million euros. Minus add-ons. This is a lot of money Abramovich gave to Lampard. He gave Lampard the green light to go ahead to the transfer market and buy every single player he needs. And this is the kind of player, these are all the players Lampard could come up with. And I'm not going to say they are bad players, they are really good players. And as this video is progressing, you are going to find out where the true problem is. I'm not going to say the problem is really from the administrative staff because Abramovich has done all that he could. He has spent a lot of money this season. I mean, last season he was not buying players, but that does not mean, that does not guarantee that he has a lot of money in stock to go in for this kind of player. There's coronavirus, a lot of fans were not allowed to visit the stadium to watch all the leagues. That means Chelsea were low on money, but then Abramovich, on his own wisdom, he needs Chelsea to be back on top. He wants Chelsea to perform and Chelsea to compete for the EPO and other European competitions. That is how. That is the main reason why he went ahead and gave Lampard the mandate to buy every single player that he needed. And these players, as I'm telling you about, they are really good. Let's take a look about the formation that Lampard have been playing. As you all have been watching Chelsea game, this is the lineup Frank Lampard would like to go with the exception of Aspilicueta, who will be replaced with Reece James. This, apart from Aspilicueta being replaced with Reece James, this is the kind of formation that Frank Lampard have played most in this season's EPL. You can see Mendy at the back, possibly Reece James or Aspilicueta there, Kensuma, Thiago Silva, Carroll there. And when you go to midfield, you play Kovacic, N'Golo Kante, Messi Mount, and attack, you play Hakim Ziyech, Timmo, Werner, and Pulisic. So this is what Lampard is fine of. And if he's not playing that, there's another one at the 2 where you are seeing the screen. These are all formations that he likes to play. And my problem is, Lampard is not limited to playing a 4-3-3 formation. He can go in for a 4-2-3-1 information. That is what Chelsea was playing last season, and it worked. I don't know why he has to push Timo Werner to the wings. Last 2 seasons, when I saw Timo Werner playing for RB Leipzig, he was not actually a winger. He was a number 9, banging in the goals. That is what he is known. That is how he is playing all over his entire life. I know a couple of times he used him at the wings, but that is not his rare and rightful position. So I don't know. I'm a little worried why Frank Lampard is really keen on playing him in the wings. Frank Lampard will debate in the fact that whenever he plays Timo Werner at the first number 9, it doesn't really work. But it depends on time. You should give him a little bit of time. You can't say this match you played him on the number 9 and it didn't really impress you, so that's it. You're going to play him in the wings for the rest of his career. That is absolutely wrong. I'm not saying Frank Lampard is not a good coach, but I'm worried about the kind of selection he has been making. And when you go to social media, a lot of Chelsea fans have been talking. A lot of Chelsea fans have been discussing the formation right now. If you're a Chelsea fan or a football lover, that I want you to go down in the comment section and tell me, if you were Frank Lampard, the best formation you play. I'm going to give you mine shortly, but I want you to go to the comment section and tell me, if you were to be Frank Lampard managing a team like Chelsea with this kind of players you have on any given day where all your players are fit. I mean, all your players are really healthy, no coronavirus, no COVID-19 positive cases, they are all healthy. What will be your preferred lineup? Because I will never play Timo Werner on the wings. I know he performs on the wing, but that is not his rightful position. I'm going to tell you my preferred formation in a team. These are all formations. If I'm supposed to play a 4-3-3 formation, I'll go with Mendy on goal, because by almost by the usual, that's the best choice I have. I'll go with Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Kazuma, Regime. This is a solid formation at the back 4 there. Under no circumstance will you change this, except there are injuries or there are COVID-19 positive cases. This should be the best 4 defenders that Lampard have at his disposal. And I'm worried when he decided to go in for Aspilicueta, coming in for Rhys James. Or at times you can bring in Emerson here on. He's actually a good player. You can give him a playing time in the AFL and the FA Cup. Now going to the midfield, I'll play N'Golo Kante. No doubt I'll play him as a holding midfielder, and I'll play Mount and Kovacic. I mean, head to head, side by side by him. And if I'm pushed to the wall, I'll even substitute Pulisic for Mason Mount. And on attack, I'll play Timo Werner, Olivier Giroud, and Hakim Ziyech. And any given day, depending on the kind of opponent we are facing, I can switch in from Giroud to Tammy Abraham, give them all the playing time to create that competition between them. Timo Werner, I don't like him being on the wing there, so that brings me to option 2. Option 2 is playing the same formation, but in attack, I'll go in for Pulisic, Timo Werner, and Hakim Ziyech. That is my best. This should be, for me, I'm not saying that should be the best. To me, I think this is the best formation for Chelsea. That is playing Pulisic, Timo Werner, and Hakim Ziyech in front. And when you want to bring Kai Havertz on, bring Kai Havertz and substitute Pulisic instead of Hakim Ziyech. Because so far, Hakim Ziyech has been the player that has really impressed me. And Thiago Silva has been performing really well. He has been commanding the back four. He has been positioning. He has brought out the best in Zuma. If you're a Chelsea fan, you can see that when Thiago Silva arrived at the club, he has actually improved the performance in Zuma and other defenders at the back there. And if you are not forced to play 4-3-3, you can go in for a little twist depending on the kind of opponent you are facing. If you would like to attack more, I think this is the best. And if I'm given the job as a Chelsea manager, this will be my preferred selection. I'll go in for 4-2-3-1, more attacking mindset, because as Pep Guardiola will tell you, the best way to defend is to attack more, and that is it. I'll play in the back four as usual. I'll play in Kante and Jorginho. If possible, I'll switch in Jorginho for Kovacic, and I'll play in Mason Mount as an attacking role, the pivot three-headed over there, and I'll play in Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, and Timo Werner number 9. Don't change Timo Werner to the wings. He is a number 9, please. He is a number 9. Play him at the number 9. And with this formation, I think Chelsea will be a great team, and all the fans of Chelsea will really like to see this kind of formation. Now let's move on to the social media talks. Starting from Facebook, immediately Chelsea lost to Manchester City in their EPL encounter. Jude went on to Facebook to comment, what is actually the problem with our Chelsea team? It just feels like everything that we are doing is so wrong, even if they appear to put in their best. We hope this bad form will be arrested quickly, and can't wait to see my darling Chelsea shining and winning again. Larry also came to Facebook and commented on no game plan, no creativity in midfield, Mount running without position, and Lamps makes subs blindly, making things worse. Lens also came to Facebook with his comment, I want to know why Lampard is selecting Werner and Pulisic ahead of Giroud and Abraham. Maybe there is something that we don't know. Actually, maybe there's something that we don't know. I agree with Lens there on his actually Facebook comment. When you go to Instagram, El actually came to Instagram and posted that in all my years as football and Chelsea fan, I've never seen a coach tactically better than Frank Lampard. And I think he's the best coach we have ever had. Back him and trust the process. We can still do it. You can still do this. We are Chelsea. And after Chelsea also came to Instagram with this post, time to hold Frank accountable. Can't blame Kai Havertz and Timo Werner for every bad performance. EY Chelsea fans. And this Instagram user also said Werner should play as a striker. He is not a winger. Don't get Frank's problem with that. That is actually what I was saying. I don't really get Frank's problem playing Timo Werner as a winger. And when you go to Twitter, Dom actually tweeted, I'll back Lampard until he leaves or gets sacked, but bringing on Havertz instead of Giroud is a joke. And Shakem also said, I don't know if I got the name right, he said, once again, we saw an unimpressive performance from the boys. It's obvious Lampard is clueless. No game plan, no tactics, no instructions, nothing. This match once again highlights Lampard's cluelessness and tactical mediocrity. The earlier he is flushed out, the better. This is what Chelsea fans are saying all over social media. If you like your comments, your tweets, your Instagram post to be featured on the next video, all you have to do is to make sure you tag me on that particular post there. My Instagram and Twitter accounts will be linked in the description as well as on my screen right now. So if you want your comment, your post to be featured in the next episode of the Champions League Diary, make sure to tag me on that particular post and I'll do well to include you. So that's actually the wrap up. Now, as I asked you the question earlier on, through this tactical analysis that I've done right now, who is actually responsible for Chelsea's bad performance? The performance is not actually bad, but it's kind of a roller coaster. One day, Chelsea is winning the couple of games, they win 2-3, and they come back to losing and drawing games. And when Chelsea meet the big teams there, this is where Chelsea fans want Lampard to impress. Chelsea, heck, they don't mind losing to Southampton, they don't mind losing to Crystal Palace. But when they lose to a team like Manchester United, Liverpool, the front six, it gets them really worried and pumped up. So Frank Lampard, I'm really advising you to check this video out and actually do well to change your lineup as well as your formation, because this is what Chelsea fans have said. And I'm actually a messenger and we don't have the messenger. Thank you very much for sticking with me to the end of this video. There's a Champions League review and diary. If you're new here, please do well subscribe. Click on the notification bell icon because I'll be releasing a betting prediction video coming soon.